One of the most iconic experiences you can have in New Zealand is spending a night in a backcountry hut. And the Department of Conservation alone looks after over 950 of them. Some of these huts are unlike anything you've seen before, and spending a night in them, well, that's a true Kiwi experience. The rich history of the people who built these huts, people who use them today, is until now an untold story. Join us as we explore the backcountry huts of New Zealand and the people behind them. This is Backcountry Huts. This hut sees us in the Tararua Ranges, in the lower region of the North Island. And the Tararuas cover 3,168 square kilometres from the Manawatu Gorge in the north to the Rimataka Range in the south. The highest point is Maida Peak at 1,571 metres. The Tararua Ranges offer a huge variety of tramping, hunting and walking opportunities in a wild natural landscape not far from the capital of New Zealand. Today we're here to visit a historic hut. Built in 1909, it's the oldest hut in the Tararuas. It's got a fascinating story to tell. Now, we might not be able to meet the original builder, but we've got the next best thing. There's the sound of an axe in the distance and the smell of smoke on the breeze, and there's no better welcome to any hut. I just love it. It tells me that Say's hut is not too far, and this week I'm actually meeting up with 4 generations of Say at the hut. I think that's unheard of. Hello, the camp. How are you? I'm Davey.
Yeah, Barry Sayer.
Barry, pleasure to meet you.
What a great country it is, isn't it?
Oh gosh, what a stunning walk in.
Hey, I'll introduce you to the family. Kane,
Hey Dave.
my nephew,
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
my uncle Paul,
Paul, pleasure to meet you.
and my great nephew Rex Pender.
Rex,
How we going?
nice to meet you, mate.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll set about getting a brew on, shall we?
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Wow, this place is awesome. Gosh, if these walls could talk. Oh, just feels good. You know, I think old huts like this, it's almost spiritual. They welcome you in, the wood welcomes you in and wraps itself around you.
You want a coffee,
You
Paul?
just feel like you're safe. You're back in the womb. I love it.
These are photos I've never seen, Paul.
So guys, there's a little bit of conjecture about this hut and whether it was actually built in 1907 or 1909, and I think if there was anyone on the planet that could actually answer that question, it would be one of you guys sitting around the table here. So I'm going to ask you, what do you know about the building of the hut?
Deathly silence. Because we don't really know, do we?
Definitely a Sayer.
Yeah. Yep. The original hut, and I say original hut because this hut has been relocated from its original position shortly after the Second World War. The original hut was built by Richard Burgess Sayer, who is Paul's grandfather, my great-grandfather, and the other generations obviously. And then shortly after the war, again conjecture 46 or 48, it was dismantled and relocated here by Paul's old man, my grandfather Leo, and Bunt Hayes. There's a couple of photos I've never seen before that Paul's produced. So here's one of this hut as it's been moved here or under construction.
Yeah. Another one.
There's another one. So you can see the shape of the hut and the chimney down the northern side. The original hut was out on the edge of a river terrace at the front of the flat here, and Leo and Bunt Hayes were a little bit concerned that the Waiahine had taken a diversion for the worst and was aiming straight at that hut, and thought that it would be wise to move it to a safer place. Yeah, yeah.
So what were the, you know, the materials that the guys actually built the first hut with? Were most of those sourced up here in the bush?
Totra.
Totra.
Totra's the best, yeah. Because you can split it that easy. Like you get a good log, you can split it quite easy. And that's what they made the shingles out of.
It's got a natural oil in it,
Yeah.
like a treatment. That's why it lasts so long.
Yeah, and you can see the split slabs here that we've exposed on the inside of the hut, just so that people can truly appreciate just
The bones.
the bones of the hut to be.
So they would have felled quite a decent sized tree, do you think? And,
Oh yeah, yeah.
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 and then how would they split that up into
More than
the
wedges.
slabs?
More than wedges. With a crosscut saw to cut them into lengths.
Hard yakka.
Yeah.
Hard yakka.
Yeah, doing a little bit of firewood.
Yeah, sweat. But this roof that's on here now, how old would that be? 10 years?
Just over 10 years. The
Yeah.
deer stalkers
Yeah.
put a new roof on.
Chimney.
Chimney was renewed, and then of course last year four of us did this recladding. So that was air flown in, but there was a lot of
Lot of
iron carried in originally.
The cladding that was on here was rolled up iron and carried in on their backs.
There's some photos of that somewhere, coming across the river.
Yeah. With them,
And so the Sayers, you know, right from the get-go, right from 1907, have always been involved with the hut, your family,
Yep.
throughout the years.
Yep.
So obviously the hut then, you know, must have a place close to your heart. I mean, you know, are the future generations of Sayers also going to be involved in this hut?
It's something I'm trying to convince my cousins to do. Yeah, yeah, seems to be just me at the moment, but yeah, we've got a few of them trying to drag a few of the cousins in next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What interested me as well was, you know, it's a lot of the bush in New Zealand, you know, with huts in it, it's just there for, you know, for hunting or tramping, but it seemed to be that your family actually farmed up here and Totra Flats, the guys used to drive cattle in. Did they bring them up and leave them in here, or do they just bring them up for summer feed?
I think it was mainly winter time they brought them in.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah?
runoff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
and while
okay.
they were in here, they used to do the possums while the cattle were grazing and do the possums while they're in here and then take them home again.
So how many head of cattle would they bring in?
I read 80 odd somewhere once.
80. Yeah, that's good. It's quite a
Yeah.
fair few animals.
Yeah.
And then just drive them in up the river or over the
No.
hills?
No,
Come up the Kaipatongata and up the Dry Mangatarera and then down the horse track here, what we always call the horse track. That was done by trying to get a beehive, some honey out of a tree that caught the bush on fire apparently.
Oh, I wasn't trying to make more grazing.
No.
That's their story.
no, there was
It made the papers.
got photos of here, the trees after the fire had swept through, and then pasture established, and you know, happy dairy cows wintering over.
Want to take us for a bit of a quick run through, Barry?
Yeah, Davey, it's pretty basic. Look, there's running water, comes from a tank outside. We've got the world famous fireplace, and when they did the chimney, they put on quite a neat attachment there to help with the cooking, and 6 bunks, and all pretty basic. We've stripped it back, and it is what it is. Yeah.
How long do you reckon this hut's going to last then before, you know, it's at its day?
Yeah, you won't see me standing here. It'll outlive me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I reckon it's probably got another 50 or 100 years the way it is until the next decent burst is necessary. So.
The boys are going to take us to a Totra log and give us a bit of a demo on how to make a slab out of a Totra. You're keen to see this. I've got an old adze. They've got a maul and a couple of wedges.
We got a lift here, don't we, Barry?
No, it was.
I think it's down here
I actually thought it was right.
somewhere. Down in here somewhere. Yeah, well, originally they'd just come along and cut it to lengths and then get the wedges in. You usually do it from the smaller end because otherwise if you do it from the big end, it'll run off.
I can get a bit of a swing here, yeah.
Double up on the wedge.
Not your first rodeo, Paul, is it, eh? Here you go, Davey.
It's not the best timber to use. Shoulder up, not your toe.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Eh? I'm trying. This is the first time I've done this with an ad, so it's like. We'll just give it a go.
Yeah.
Suppose we've got to hit it first. And then, what would you say? Just slow it down.
You're doing well.
Yeah. You have to go quite so fast because you've got another 400 of these to do today. Yeah, beautiful, look at that. What a great country. Well done, David.
Well, I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with adst. And can't. The only thing that rhymes with ads is whiskey.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
You reckon that might happen tonight?
Yep.
Well, thanks very much for showing me that, guys. Well, I've only adzed one very small slab, but I have this real sense of achievement, and so I can just imagine, the guys when they were building this hut and adzing, long planks of totara, just how they felt when they got to the end of each one and they turned and they looked and they went, "Yep, beauty. I know where that's going. It's a great piece of wood." Well, I love cooking in huts, and I especially love cooking over an open fire. Tonight I'm going to be doing a colonial goose, which is pretty apt really, because way back in the pioneering days and Richard Sayers' day, they would love to have goose, but of course they had no geese. So what they would do is they'd take a leg of lamb, bone it out and stuff it, and they'd call it colonial goose. So I've prepared this one for tonight with herbs. Looks pretty damn good to me. We're going to have some roast veggies with it, but we'll get this on the fire. It'll be on there for 3 or 4 hours, and hopefully the boys are going to enjoy it.
The hut was, the tin was flat old tin on the side of it. It had holes and gaps that you could slide your hand up. It was failing inspections with Doc. We knew the slabs were under there, which is Rex and I really wanted to expose and have a look at, especially on the inside. So I'd already met Megan from the Backcountry Trust and approached her. Rex and I sat down and worked out what we thought we might be able to do. And as you can see, there's nothing square, straight, level, anything like that. So it was a challenge. But to get the tin to sit reasonably flat, instead of in and out, we decided to get some 3/4 ply. And Rex came up with the idea to paint the back of it black. So if we did expose the slabs on the inside, the gaps would show black instead of ply. And then started cladding it with the tin. Yeah, and turned out a bit nicer than I thought it was going to. In behind here is all old slabs, but they weren't as uniform as the ones on the other side, on the south side. As you can see, Rex has done some real fancy flashing work there. That we put new clear light up the top because that was all stained from the fire inside. And yeah, we're really happy with how it's come out, and I'm sort of keen to see what the next dock inspection comes up with. It's the oldest hut in the park, and we've tried to keep the inside as old and original as possible. Yeah, we just want to see it carry on, yeah, and people can use it for years to come. Hopefully it's still here when I go. Yeah, so it wouldn't happen without Megan and the Backcountry Trust. Yeah, so we're very thankful. And that sounds funny, but I think the hut loves visitors, you know. I sit at home on the Kapiti Coast and think I hope there's someone in the hut, you know. And yeah, I think, yeah, I'm choking up, sorry. Yeah, it's just such a special place, and Rex and I love it. So does everybody else that comes here. The comments we see in the book are just heartwarming. So we just hope everybody that comes here respects it and looks after it and enjoys it, yeah, which I know they do. So yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
What a great country.
It just looks great, mate. I'll put it on
On the chainsaw.
there. Slice of bread in the middle.
One Argentinian serving. David, there's a few food critics here, so I'm hoping you're going to live up to it.
Okay guys, so fill your boots. Plates are over here. There's meat that's cut. That's our colonial goose. Peas, kumara, potatoes, pumpkin, and some gravy. So please help yourself.
Grub some.
What a great country.
That.
No, it's not a big spoon in there.
Okay, that looks good. Oh yes, that's sensational.
What's in here? Spuds.
Buds.
Just you guys that are eating the potatoes don't need to fill.
I'm the 4th generation here. So I'm Barry's great nephew. So it took us about 2 years to sort of go backwards and forwards and get it all to happen. And I think we're done about a good solid week in here doing the actual reclad. And then, yeah, just been coming back in and just doing the final few bits here and there. Over a few weekends, so got a couple more weekends to go and we should be pretty close. So I've got to try and get a few of my cousins in here to give me a hand. So, hopefully trying to pull a couple in next year. So it'll be Barry's son, who's same age as me, and my cousin Jake. Yeah, met a few people more than once here, so we're sort of starting to make friends out here, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Can you recall when the first time was that you came in here and what you thought of the hut when you first saw it?
I had been coming to Totara Flats for a little while prior to that, and I was stopping at what was the old Totara Flats hut up the river. And then one morning in the early morning hunt, I saw a guy sneaking up the side of the river, and then someone said, that'd be Les Hooper. I said, where does he live? Say, you know, they said, oh, it's Sayers Hut. Well, let's go there.
What year did you first come in?
Into here in 1963. Yeah.
I know, Steve, when I was a young fella and coming up here and hunting, and I'd actually stay at the old Totra Flats hut, which was a Totra slab hut as well, and I wouldn't come over here to Sayers because rumour going around at that stage was no, there's crazy people over there at Sayers.
Well, that might be right.
Stay away. So you did a pretty good job of keeping people away from the hut.
There's a book written by a chap from Upper Hutt, deerstalkers, and they, when they start coming in here, they stick them up, thought they would spread their wings and come up the Taranaki and into here for a roar, because this was a real isolated place. So they spent days carrying food up to Cone Saddle Hut. Then they made a burst on here. And it says in his book, they burst open the door and they said it was full of guys and dogs and things and guns and them. What are you juggers doing here? Are we coming for a hunt? Like bloody hell, this is private land, you get out of it. And they weren't. They disappeared to carry all their tuck away. But when the hut was vested in the care of the NZDA, the Wairarapa branch, Robin Cox, who was the top guy here in the Wairarapa, he says that if it's going to be vested in the hut, then the old family issue has to go away a bit, and the first people in the door get the bunk and that sort of thing. So it's got to be open to all users. And they used to bring Americans in here, and I got some photographs with tourists fishing here, and they would bring every bit of firearm and bullet they could carry in here, and they'd sit them up on the Totra Flats out here, and they would just dog the flats to chase the deer out. And they said the worst thing was the Americans wouldn't go home till they'd fired off all their bullets. Yeah, this is Colin Alexander, and I knew him, and I knew the Joker farmer. I can't remember the Joker Batty's first name, but of course this is where they're from, very young guys, and they were of the same ilk as the other guys, you know, come in here, do a bit of work, and then but never kept coming back like a lot of guys have. Lloyd Smith carried some of these other ones in because he was a character. Okay, I think giving everything back to their rightful owners. Spokesman for them, it's their original lease agreement for Totra Flats.
That's absolutely brilliant. Steve, you're giving that to us?
Yes.
So this is an absolutely amazing document. This is the original lease from the New Zealand government to Richard Burgess Sayer for the lease of Totra Flats, and it's dated 1916. So way back then it was £20 twice a year for 175 acres here at Totra Flats. What's really cool is there's a hand-drawn map of where the Wahine River comes down through the flats. Today, if you looked at it, you'd say, wow, most of the flats are on this side of the river, but you know, the river is just moving all the time in the valley. So yeah, it's history. And what a marvellous piece of history that it is.
The old hut, the 1906 house was sited just here, pretty undetermined whether it was just there or just on that little bit of clearing, but it was just here on the riverbank here. It was this riverbank being eaten in, which suggested to them that they should move it back. If you check in the photos, you'll see that on the back wall of the hut or side wall, there's a couple of bits of timber sticking out. Well, they used to have a pulley there and they'd just lower their billy down into the river and get their water and bring it up into the hut, which was a pretty good idea, I thought. I think in regards to the future of Sayers Hut, looking at it today, having not been here for a number of years, the future looks good for it, and in the fact that the younger, so-called younger generation of the Sayers have seen their heritage and responded to that, and consequently have doing some good maintenance and development. of course, it's all about what the government of the day says about huts in the Taoruas and other ranges in New Zealand. But it looks to me like it's here to stay. It's been brought up to speed professionally, and the whole thing looks good. I think it's a good future for Say Hut. Yeah, and anyone that's been here and stopped only one night, straight away assume that they're part of it. It has something it seems to pass on to people. Yeah. Unfortunately, it brings a tear to my eye.
Well, what an absolute privilege that was to spend the night in Sayers Hut with 4 generations of Sayers family and Steve Ticehurst, and listen to all of the stories dating right back to when the hut was first built and all the little events that happened along the way over those 110 years. So if you've enjoyed New Zealand backcountry huts, come along on the journey. I'll see you at the next hut.